Hello students, welcome back to Sri Sai Aadhan classes, Max Physics Chemistry from grade 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. UAE and India's WhatsApp number has been mentioned, grade 10 CBSE, and the topic is chapter number 1, Chemical Reactions and Equations, Chemistry, the last part D. The first three parts A, B, C have been uploaded in Sri Sai Aadhan classes YouTube channel. In the playlist of chemistry, you can easily find it out. Now we will continue with the part D topic with the reaction called precipitation reaction. So what is a precipitation reaction? Did you ever see your mama or did you ever prepare a cup of a tea? After preparing a cup of a tea, you do the filter part. So in the filter, you are refining it, and in the glass you will get a tea. But in the filter paper or the filter what you have used it, in that leftover particles are present. They participated in the chemical reaction. So the leftover parts in an aqueous solution, we'll call it as precipitation reaction. The reaction in which precipitation is formed. How the precipitation is formed? By the mixing of the aqueous solution of what? Of two salts. We call it as precipitation reaction. Check here symbolically. AB is a compound. It is combining with CD, the reactants. After reaction, A combines with D and B and C are left over as a precipitate. As I said always, the down arrow symbols play an important role here in chemistry part. The down arrows will represent the precipitation. So please go through the examples and remember the examples so that you can write the description easily. CuSO4 plus 2 NaOH gives rise to Na2SO4 plus CuOH twice. And next comes about the oxidation reactions and reduction reactions. So what do you mean by oxidation? What do you mean by reduction over here? In the word itself, we can easily recognize and remember oxidation, adding of oxygen. Adding of what? You are adding oxygen or non-metallic element or removal of hydrogen. Either you remove hydrogen or add oxygen. Removal of hydrogen or metallic element, adding of oxygen or non-metallic element to form a compound we call oxidation. Elements and compounds in which oxygen or non-metallic element is added. Elements or compounds in which what you are doing, either you are adding oxygen or non-metallic element, or hydrogen or metallic element is removed, or hydrogen or metallic element is removed, then we will call it as oxidized. Then we'll call it as oxidize. Next comes your reduction. What do you mean by reduction over here? A reduction means adding of oxygen, adding of hydrogen. That is addition of hydrogen or metallic element. Addition of hydrogen or metallic element or removal of oxygen or non-metallic element from where? From a compound. We call it as a reduction. We call it as a reduction. And now here the compound or element which goes under reduction. The compound or element which goes under reduction is called to be reduced. Oxidation and reduction takes place together. So how the oxidation and reduction can take place together? In this slide we have discussed and we have explained it clearly so that you can understand properly. Oxidation and reduction reaction. Combination of oxygen or loss of 2 electrons here by magnesium, oxidation number will increase. Magnesium is reducing agent and oxidation is oxidizing agent. They are going to ask after giving the chemical equation. So what are reducing agent and what are oxidizing agent? In near future, after the completion of all the chapters, we are going to discuss the question answers also. First you understand the content and the subject, students. So reduction here. Combination of magnesium, gain of 2 electrons by oxygen, oxidation number decreases, so it is called a reduction reaction. Oxidizing agent. What do you mean by oxidizing agent over here? What are oxidizing agents? The substance which gives oxygen for oxidation. What that substance is doing? The substance which gives oxygen for oxidation is called oxidizing agent, and the substance which removes hydrogen is also called oxidizing agent. What about reducing agent? What do you say? Can you discuss? Can you continue? That is, which gives hydrogen for reduction is called reducing agent, or the substance which removes oxygen is called reducing agent. Here make a note, the reaction in which both oxidation and reduction reaction are present. Both oxidation and reduction reaction takes place simultaneously. We call it as a redox reaction. The reducing agent reduces the oxidation number, and the oxidation agent will increase what? The oxidation number. Check here the redox reactions. In reduction you will have GOE, that is gain of electrons. In oxidation you have LOE, that is loss of electrons. In reduction the oxidation number will decrease, and in oxidation it will increase the oxidation number. These are the examples. Example play a very important role, students. So when copper is heated with hydrogen, then the copper metal and hydrogen are formed. CuO plus H2 gives rise to copper plus water. So in this reaction, CuO is changing into Cu. Oxygen is being removed from copper oxide. Removal of oxygen from a substance is called reduction. So copper oxide is being reduced to copper. This is the way how we understand how the oxidation and reduction takes place. So oxygen is being removed from CuO, and removal of oxygen from a substance is called reduction. So copper oxide is undergoing reduction reaction. So H2 is changing to H2O. So oxygen is being added to what? Hydrogen. So addition of oxygen to a substance is called oxidation. So hydrogen is being oxidized. The substance which gets oxidized is called a reducing agent. What is that, students? The substance which gets oxidized is called reducing agents. And the substance which gets reduced, the substance which get reduced is called oxidizing agent. Is called oxidizing agent. Next comes your exothermic and endothermic reaction. The reaction which produces energy. When energy is produced, most of the decomposition reactions are exothermic. Endothermic reaction means a chemical reaction in which heat energy is absorbed. A chemical energy in which heat energy is absorbed is called endothermic reaction. Endo coming in, exo going out. So as we have discussed regarding the oxidation reaction, so what are the effects of oxidation reaction? Corrosion and rancidity. The process of slow conversion of metals into their undesirable compounds due to the reaction with oxygen, water, acids, gases, etc. Where they are present? They are present in the atmosphere. So this is a slow conversion of metals into their undesirable compounds due to the reaction with what? Oxygen, water, acid and gases, etc. which are present in the atmosphere is called corrosion. Example, rusting of iron. Check here. Reduction and oxidation takes place. So iron when reacts with oxygen and the moisture forms a red substance which is called rust. What it is called? Hydrated iron oxide, or we can call it as rust. The rusting of iron is oxidation reaction. Corrosion. What corrosion does? It weakens the iron and steel objects and structures such as railing, car bodies, bridges and ships, and cuts short their life. So what are the methods I will use to prevent rusting? Either by painting, by greasing, oiling and by galvanizing. Slide has been kept. For rusting to happen, both air and water must be present. Salt can make rusting worse, students. Coat with oil or grease, the bicycle change. Coat with layers of paint, car body. Coat with plastic, mesh fence. Galvanize with zinc, nail. Alloy with other metals, stainless steel and cutlery. Electroplate with another metal, jewelry. And next comes your, what is this? Corrosion of copper. So what happens? So how you are going to protect your copper? The corrosion of copper. The corrosion of copper is protected. So what happens here? The copper objects will lose their luster and shine after some time, because why? The surface of this the surface of these objects will acquire a green coating of basic copper carbonate. When they are going to acquire a green coating of basic copper carbonate, when they are exposed to air, when these copper objects are exposed to air. Corrosion of silver metal. Corrosion of silver metal. So what happens to the silver metal? The surface of silver metal gets tarnished. It will tarnish, it will become dull. Why? Because it has been exposed to air. So due to the formation of the coating of black silver sulfide, what you are doing? You are coating of black silver sulfide on its surface by the action of H2S gas which is present in the air. Rancidity. So what is this rancidity here? The taste of food materials containing fat and oil changes when they are left exposed to air for a long time. When the food materials which contains fats and oils, when they are left over or they are exposed to air for a long time, the taste and the odor of the food will change. So this is called rancidity. Why it occurs? It occurs due to the oxidation of fats. It occurs due to the oxidation of fat and oils present in food materials. So how do I prevent this? By adding antioxidant, vacuum packing, replacing air by nitrogen, refrigeration of foodstuff. So when you keep the food outside in your room, it gets spoiled. But the same food, when you place it in your refrigerator for a couple of days, it will not. So refrigeration of foodstuffs. What are the preventive measures? Everything has been given in this slides. Hope you all understood, the students. Here we come to an end of this particular chapter called chemical reactions and equations. Any students, any doubt, again I request to use the comment section or use the WhatsApp number. After completion